Sometimes our scripture readings can be difficult to understand. This one today is no exception. In this reading from John's Gospel, Jesus says that one must eat his flesh and drink his blood in order to have life abundant. These graphic words are obviously not to be understood literally. But what was the Gospel writer trying to convey about the nature of Jesus and the nature of our life in God? For clues to that, we need to look at the context of this passage. Jesus is giving a homily, not to be confused with a sermon, in the synagogue in Capernaum. The homily would be an interpretation of the prescribed readings from the Hebrew Bible. In this instance, it was likely the manna in the desert reading from Exodus. But true to form, Jesus challenges the value of religious life when what one believes does not lead to living a life centered in God. Hear now these words from John, chapter 6, 41 to 44, and 48 to 55. Then the authorities began to complain about Jesus because he said, "I am the bread that came down from heaven." They were saying, "Is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How can he now say, 'I have come down from heaven'?" Jesus answered them, "Do not complain among yourselves. No one can come to me unless drawn by God, who sends me. Everyone who has heard and learned from God comes to me. I am the bread of life. Your ancestors ate manna in the wilderness, and they died. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. Whoever eats of this bread will live forever, and the bread that I will give for the life of the world is my flesh." The authorities then disputed among themselves, saying, "How can this man give us his flesh to eat?" So Jesus said to them, "Very truly, I tell you, unless you eat the flesh and drink the blood of the chosen one, you won't have life in you. Those who eat my flesh and drink my blood have life, for my flesh is true food and my blood is true drink. Those who eat my flesh and drink my blood abide in me, and I in them." Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.